Hello everybody, welcome to episode 9. We're doing Dyson's Sphere program. This is our Let's Play. I'm Sinister, and this episode is going to be a little lighter. Not so much crafting and building in this one. Last episode where were we doing that? I'm all turned around now. We were working on our red energy matrix, so we got that going and we've got a few upgrades already. We're doing x-ray cracking over here, but basically, yeah, this episode we're going to talk about future planning the game. So I mean, we're not going to go super far in, but when you look at what we need to start building next, there is a lot of other stuff that's required. Oh, I need some fuel. Good thing I planned ahead for this very occasion. Because in the near future, we're going to be flying through space. So when we go into our tech tree, we have technologies and upgrades available. Now, they're both going to be required, but I preferably want to get myself going first. So ideally, when we look at the whole big picture of the game, we're only on one planet. We got lots of planets and places to go explore. So we want to unlock our Mecha Sail so we can get up. And I missed this in my first playthrough. I didn't know how to get this because I wasn't reading stuff. But this will activate sail mode at certain altitude, and we can go into orbit. So ultimately we need this, but we have to unlock the Mecha Core level 2 first. So that's going to be the first thing I unlock. I'm going to go for that right now. It should just start going down. Yeah. So on my list that I kind of went through, after that I want the drive engine. We have to wait for that to unlock before. So in 5 minutes time we'll be there. But when we look at our other options, we got Mecha move speed, which is good, inventory capacity, which is good. Excuse me. And then communication control. So excuse me. We want to, in my order, I'm going to have the Mech Core. We're going to zoom out. Mech Core, drive engine, and then we're going to go to the energy circuit because that's our energy, so we can do more stuff like fly and drones. Otherwise, we're just going to burn more energy. And then we're going to do inventory capacity because it's a whole other line. It's a lot of inventory. We'll do that one. Then we'll get our drone control. No, what is it? Communication control is the extra drone. Drone engine is drone speed, which is ultimately good as well. And then we'll move our movement speed at the end. Down on this half, most of this stuff comes into play. I think we can get vertical construction, which isn't the worst thing to get. We'll worry about that very last. And then veins utilization, but this again is requiring yellow. So everything else down here is going to start requiring yellow and purple technology. So we're going to let that finish up, but we're going to go over here and we're going to look into this tree. So there's a lot going on, but they try and help you understand. So the main quest here is a nice big fat line in the middle. It tells you main quest. So these items here are ultimately what you're going to be working on towards to start building your, or to completing the game, getting the universe matrix, mission complete. But we want to not jump that far ahead. What we're going to focus on is little things. Now, in the big picture of the game, the planetary logistics system is going to make everything a lot easier, and so will the interstellar logistics system. Otherwise, how do you get stuff between planets, right? So we're going to look at interplanetary logistics, or no, not inter, just planetary logistics system. So we're going to have to get logistics system. Okay, great. That's going to be on the list. We'll do that at some point, but I'm not going to rush it. I mean, I don't really need Mark III sorters yet, and I don't even have access to, I think it's magnetic levitation, those aqua things in there. We will want that, But so on my list, ultimately, this is what I want to unlock. But through that whole process, we're actually going to be able to have to build all of these things that are in it. So in my mind, I mean, we don't quite need Mark III belts yet. They're really fast, and later on I'll want them, but right now I'm not super concerned about Mark III. But in the end, we're going to need to be able to build the drones and the planetary logistics system. So when you look down at it, you've got, I just was looking at the pictures, you know, looks like there's more circuits, looks like there's titanium or some other item, and the purple glowing things. And on this one we got more of those circuits, and we got like rocket boosters. So I just basically took my time and explored through the list, and right off the bat you find titanium smelting. So this ties into just the logistics station. So when you think of it, we don't need a whole bunch. I mean, we're going to want some of these planetary logistics systems, but if we even if we want to build 6 of them, that's 40 times 6 is what, 240? So that's not a ton of titanium. But the big question is, where are we going to get titanium? And this is why we're tying it all in together with flying. So once we look at our planet, I used the V function. You can get a really good overview of your planet. On the side here, it shows a current what's happening. Like, we got lots of crude oil we're not touching, but our coal's going down, our stone's going down, our copper, and it's all going down, but we have 0 silicon and 0 titanium. So once we zoom out a little bit, we realize, you know, you can, I think you use the N function as well, so north. We got other planets here. So when you click on this one, you say Iote Libre 2. I should probably find some fun names for these. But there we go. There's our Mecha Core energy. So, but basically, we're going to need flying, because over on this planet here, look at that. Titanium ore. And when we zoom out even more, we don't want to go to our sun, but this guy swinging around here, Iote Libre, that one's got silicone too. So it looks like we got a lot of titanium in our galaxy and not a lot of silicone. So we're gonna have to, I think, use our silicone pretty sparsely. So we got our mech core. We want to get our drive engine going now, and then we're gonna get, what was it, energy, and then we're gonna get more inventory, and then we're going to get another drone, and we're going to get faster drones, and then we're going to get faster me. But that's just ground speed, I think. Basic speed, basic move speed. I don't know if it's just ground speed, but in the end, we'll worry about that one last. We've got a lot of things queued up. So let's go back to looking at our technologies tree. So we found our titanium, and so it looks like we're going to just need a smelting facility and replicator for that. Done, we got that. This one here, this is just extra. We'll get to that when we get to that. We got crystal smelting. I am not seeing any exact use for it yet. Nothing that I'm building has asked me for it. So we're not gonna worry too much about that. There's our processor though. We are gonna need our processor. So on my list, I actually put that as number 1. It's available solely through Blue Energy, Blue Matrix. And we actually have enough to start producing some right now, right? We're already producing the silicone circuits and the basic circuits, whatever they're called. So I'm going to put this one in the list. I think we can queue up 8 items. I can't remember. What is that? Deuterium fractioning to build that thing, and I don't have any use for that at the current moment either. So we need our processors, we need our titanium. What else did we need? We need the purple things and the thruster booster looking things. So once we're getting closer to all the things we're available to craft right now. So applied superconductor in a field of materials. Graphene is a great breakthrough. So graphene is usually light, but right off the bat it leads to other stuff that we're not using yet that it requires yellow. That one requires yellow as well. I mean, oh wait, we gotta check this one first. A high-grade chemical used to produce higher strength. So I can make organic crystals, I guess, from plastic, water. So that's another way, I think, to get rid of byproducts. I don't see any specific use for that at the moment. Oh, you can make titanium crystal, but then you actually still need titanium. So we will have to get there for yellow, but right now, well, there's a hydrogen fuel rod. Okay. Oh, and there's our thruster. So we can make the thruster if we unlock it. We have to get us some titanium, so that should be going up on our list pretty early. Titanium and hydrogen. There's going to be our magnetic levitation that we're going to need for our belts and stuff eventually. Super magnetic field. No, we don't need that. Oh, but there it is. We need the particle container. Oh, and if we look at that, I guess we'll have to add that to our list. We are going to need the graphene. So we're going to put applied superconductor way down on the bottom of that list. So basically, I think the next important thing, because we've already unlocked flying, and then we put our processors on the list because we can start producing those. And then what we'll do is we'll get titanium going. That way we can make a journey to the great outer regions of our, what are we, I guess this is our solar system. We can make a journey over here and set up a new base. So it looks like wind energy is going to be good. Maybe we should get some of those built. There's not very much iron, but there's lots of copper. There's no silicone. That's kind of a bummer. So the other thing that I want to point out before I finish this episode is just take a look at your planet when you're planning, right? So turn on your nodes, and I feel like, oh, we've got space flight. We'll check that out at the very end.
You have received the ability to sail. Double-click the space key to lift off to enter the flight mode, and keep pressing the forward direction and space keys in the flight mode, and you will enter the sailing mode when you reach a certain altitude.
So I've only ever played one world mainly, and then a small world briefly, but what I have noticed is when you look at our side of the world, there's lots of variety here, but as you start turning around, start to notice there isn't very much extra stuff. Stone, oil, lots of oil, coal, a little bit of iron there. So you basically run out pretty quick, and I think they do that on purpose to force you to get out there and explore. So we could try and plan ahead, but we're gonna run out of resource. Well, maybe not run out. We're playing times 5. We're gonna get low on resources. We're gonna get low of space. We're gonna get low of nodes, and I like to explore the galaxy. So that's gonna be what we're kind of aiming to do. So once we look at our star map, another thing we can plan to do is go when this planet is closest. So right now you can see its orbit. It's going to get closer and closer and closer. And then when it is closer, you can use the indicator to help you travel there. So you can keep an eye on it, and you can make your travel time most efficient. Because if you plan it on this one's pretty circular. The one place I was on, it took me like 5 minutes one time to fly through space, as opposed to 1 minute and 4 seconds. And look at this one. This one's only 26 seconds. So I'm in luck having another base around here. And look, they don't have a lot of coal. So we have to figure out alternate ways to produce energy if we wanted. But this guy's basically out of the question. Yeah, planetary logistics system is basically going to make it so we can get rid of a lot of spaghetti happening. We can use drones to transport items, but then again, they're going to require more energy. So it's one of those things, it's a delicate process we're going to have to plan for. Yeah. Flight is a pretty sweet feature. Let's go to back to my guy. I got enough fuel going on here. So basically you jump up and you just hold it. Pretty sure, there we go.
In sailing mode, you can control the mecha go to different planets or planetary systems by following the arrows in the space navigation. Hold down the shift key to accelerate, back arrow key to slow down. You can also use the Q, R keys to hold down the right mouse button, dragging to sideward flight.
So yeah, it's another really quick way to travel around your planet now. Like, see how quick I did that? And then, you know, I always make sure I got a few of these set up around. And the big note I want to say is once you start traveling planets, unless it's close, like the one we're talking about here, I'm going to name these planets so I can just call them something different. Like this planet here, you know, you're pretty close. You can probably make it. But if you run out of fuel, like you're just going to have to go and manually mine stuff so you have enough fuel to fly back. Otherwise, you won't have enough energy to boost into space. You want to make sure when you go to the first time, you got a little bit of building materials, right? So you don't have to farm everything by hand. You want to go there with smelters and stuff like that. So I kind of urge you, before you make your first journey to another planet, think about what you have in your inventory. Definitely make sure it's not full of garbage. Make sure you got useful items and fuel first and foremost. So I'm gonna let this game do its thing. It's gonna slowly upgrade all of these. I can't get that. I can't get that. We're gonna have to eventually get to our next matrix level. But for now, I'm gonna worry about technologies. And in episode 10, we are going to figure out processors, probably just get a basic setup going. And that's mainly because while I'm going to be traveling to the other planet, they can sit here and craft. And I find that's efficient use of our time. So, without any more, I'll zip my trap and we'll shut down episode 9. I appreciate anybody that's taking the time to watch these videos. It's just a fun hobby of mine, and it would be great to make it something of it one day, and every subscription and like counts. So yeah, give me a like, subscribe, or leave a comment at the bottom if you have any other questions. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks for watching.